Okay, Shalom Aleichem, welcome to Tanya Wide Open, Shkoyach. We're in chapter 6 still, so I just thought, as is our minhag, just to mention a couple of things from the parsha that are very, very important. Is that when Paro is chasing us, Rashi says that he was belev echad k'ish echad, yeah. In Parshas Yisro, when it talks about us, yeah, you saw this in the Lubavitch Rebbe, yeah. So I only saw after. So it says k'ish echad belev echad, yeah, the opposite way round. So you can say again, the Lubavitch Rebbe said like this, but that see the achdus of the Mitzrim was predicated on their sina for the Yidden. So because they had a leiv echad for their hatred of the Yidden, yeah, they were k'ish echad. That's called an avatalu b'davar. Yeah.
Achdus stuff.
What?
It's still achdus.
It's
still achdus stuff.
It's an achdus, but it's talui. It's a talui davar, which means if you take the davar away, so it's not really an achdus. It's a temporary achdus. It's exactly, once that desire is gone, once that goes away, then that dissolves. Whereas by the Yidden it's the opposite. It was k'ish echad belev echad. What was the chiddush? The chiddush was belev echad, meaning we were all actually, for once in our lives, for once in our history, we were mamash miskaven in our hearts. We're ish echad. We're just always ish echad. That's Am Yisrael. We're ish echad. Yeah, everyone knows that we're all chalakim of the same goof. Yeah, everyone knows you're an eye, he's a heart, she's a brain, he's a toenail. Yeah, everyone's aware of that. Yeah, so that's the ish echad. But in this situation, we were belev echad. We were mamash miskaven. Why? Because the Rebbeinu Shalom revealed himself, and at that point, everything just falls away, and you're going that direction, you're going that direction. It all just goes like that. So it's just an interesting thing to note as well, that we talk about this idea of Yisrael being one big neshama, yeah, which everyone understands. Like you're the hand, I'm the foot, he's the knee. Yeah, everyone. You know, that also exists through Zman as well, meaning that we're one throughout time, not just throughout place. Meaning, looking back at the previous generations as something that was, is like looking back at your childhood as something that was. That's not a very helpful way of looking at your childhood. Isn't something that was, yeah? Your childhood is, the only important parts of your childhood is what's with you right now. Everything else is just, didn't even matter. If it's not here with you right now, then it doesn't exist. You understand? Meaning that is it in a sense all with you really though? I mean, a lot. I'm sure not. I don't know, but maybe. But definitely the parts that you're aware of. That's the past that matters. The past that matters is what's right now, because there isn't anything other than right now. That's all there is. So if it's not here in the now, then why are you fretting over it? What's going on? Or you're trying to bring it into the now with your thinking and with all your craziness, yeah, which is what we do all the time. But that's the same with Am Yisrael as well. So it's like this idea of comparing ourselves to previous generations and like looking at ourselves as we are now a mature nation. We're like a mensch who's gone through maturity. Do we know as much as the others, or were we as pure? Are we as pure as that's all like. It's very, that's very like fragmented. It's a very fragmented way of seeing reality. Yeah, we are as a nation, we are the accumulation of all of the tzaddikim and all of the Rishaim as well, from Adam and Rishon until where we are right now, through Avram, through Yitzhak, through Yaakov, through all of the evidence. That's with us right now. So we're not just one in Bechinas Makom, which would be Guf. We're also one Bechinas Zman as well. That's a very important thing to be aware of. And then another quick chiddush that's very helpful. It gives us a little insight into what is Bechira Chofshis. So this is a whole big thing. I don't think we've spoken about it. It's a very big Indian that really we need to discuss. But this is just a nice way. There's a rush in the Parsha when he's describing our situation when we're coming out of Mitzrayim, and he said that we had the Mitzrayim behind us, we had the Yam in front of us. So he said it was like a father with his child who had listim in front of him, and when the bandits came, he put the kid behind him. Yeah, he was talking about the Anan and the Aish, yeah? The Anan and the Aish. When the listim came in front of him, he put the child behind him, yeah? And then when the wolves came from behind him, he put the child in front of him. And then when there was the listim in front of him and the wolves behind him, he picked the child up into his arms. It's a famous Rashi, yeah? But it's weird. Why is it weird? Because we had the Mitzrayim behind us, yeah? They're Bali Bechira. But Rashi said it was the wolves behind us. They're not Bali Bechira. We had the Yam in front of us, which isn't a Baal Bechira, and he said that the listim in front of us, they're Bali Bechira. He flipped it round. So the answers from the Parsha that really the Mitzrayim weren't Bali Bechira. Why? Because he was Machabed their lave. So the Mitzrayim became not Bali Bechira. So Ma'elav, now you have to understand that the Yam became a Baal Bechira. Now we learn what Bechira is. What's Bechira? No. Having your teva gone against. You don't do it. You don't do Bechira. Bechira Chofshis is a nace, mamash. It's mamash a nace. It's not that you chose to go beyond your nature. It's Hashem chose to go beyond your nature, and you didn't resist. It is the opposite of what we understand as Bechira. Yeah, meaning Bechira is not. It makes it miraculous. It makes it pelagic. Otherwise, it's just like a cheshbon.
Well,
it's like
Hashem chose to go beyond our nature because our nature would be that we don't have.
Not our nature, the nature of the sin.
See the split.
Right, but I'm saying, how does that apply to us? We're just talking about what is Bechira.
So I'll tell you. I'll give you my paradigmatical example of Bechira Chofshis. So, okay, now we're here already. We'll discuss it because it doesn't get much more important than this, and it's an amazing topic. Is that no intention to talk about this, but fine. That give me a favour. You have 100 shekel bill?
No, otherwise I would have given it to you before.
You have 100 shekel. No, I want another one. You have another one?
100 shekel.
Screw it. So now, choose one. Either way.
That one's ripped, so I'll take that one. Oh, it's not Chofshis anymore.
Yeah, that's not Chofshis. That was yours.
Right.
You want that one back?
Sure.
So, the way that worked, that made a difference because it's a very important idea. Yeah, if someone offers you two things that are exactly the same, yeah, then you're free. You work that out quickly, yeah. And what happened was your mind actually disconnected. It ended when someone offers you the two same things to choose. All your mind is in. That's why you saw the rip immediately, because your mind is just like a camera trying to focus. It's just how can I differentiate between them? They're the same thing. Otherwise, the mind needs a difference to make a decision. Yeah. So you found the rip, and now a decision was made, finished. Yeah. So that was unfortunate. There was a rip there. Otherwise, it would have been a little bit better demonstration. But the point is still clear. Yeah. So when you have a $100 bill and a $100 bill, yeah, there's no choice. Meaning, like, there's no choice.
The result is the same, essentially.
What about if I offer you?
There are no choices.
You
go to Baskin Robbins, 31 flavors. They're all the same flavor. There aren't 31 choices. All 31 are the same thing.
Well, let me say a different scenario. Yeah, I have a $100 bill and I have a $10 bill, and I say to you, no strings attached. Choose one. Yeah, whatever one you take, you keep, and I keep the other one. Yeah, $100 bill and $10 bill. You have Bechira?
Not really.
You don't have Bechira. You're compelled by your mind to take the $100 bill. Yeah, 50, 100, same thing.
Well, if the life situation was different and I had billions of dollars and you had none, then I would take the $10 bill because it would make
But
more
it's
sense.
still
Okay,
a
let's-
cheshbon.
but that's-
It's
Right, but I'm
that's-
saying that
it's not
yeah,
chofshis
It's
because
always a
still
cheshbon,
It's
yeah?
skewed in some way,
So,
right?
exactly. So we could say also, like, what about if I were to offer you $90, a 50 and 2 20s, and 100 single dollar bills? Now that's already a cheshbon. I would probably take the 3 bills as opposed to 100 single dollar bills, yeah? Yeah, it's annoying. That's a cheshbon. So everything's a cheshbon. So, like example, if you're choosing between you enjoy chocolate yogurt, yeah, and you don't like vanilla yogurt, and you're trying to lose weight. So you've got a chocolate low fat yogurt or a vanilla high fat yogurt. Obviously, you go with the chocolate low fat. But if you mix it up and it's the chocolate high fat, the vanilla low fat, you don't mind the vanilla. Now we've got a cheshbon, we're making a cheshbon, yeah? None of this is called Bechira Chofshis in Chabad Sfar. This is all called Bechira. Again, different tzaddikim have different words for stuff, yeah? But this is Al Derech Chabad, the way I understand it, that I receive from my own. That if it's a cheshbon, that's not Bechira Chofshis. That doesn't differentiate you from all the Umos Ha'olam. Yeah? All the Umos Ha'olam have Bechira, and even animals have a level of Bechira. They can choose to eat that carcass or to eat that carcass. They can make a very rudimentary cheshbon.
It's decision.
It's not chofshis.
It's
Even so, but it's still like a lion will, if a rat comes in front of him, yeah, he'll probably grab it with a paw and eat it, yeah.
not by choice.
But he wouldn't chase it because he knows that he'd lose more calories chasing the rat than he would eating the rat, yeah. So either way, however it's made, there is some kind of cheshbon going on, even if it's some kind of instinctual cheshbon. But there's some kind of cheshbon being made somewhere, somehow.
But a cheshbon is antithetical to Bechira Chofshis.
Exactly. Bechira Chofshis is miraculous. It's not of this world. It's only Shach Yisrael. It's only Shach Yisrael. So now.
And to make the right choice between two things that seem exactly the same.
It's no right choice.
Wait. We'll explain this after show. So this was my experience of Bechira Chofshis. I've said this story dozens and dozens of times. Yeah, this was the day that I made tshuva. I thought it was a different day when I flew to Israel. Yeah, and then it was the next Shabbos I remember I kept, and the Shabbos before that I was Mechalel, so that was the day. But it wasn't. It was a few months before that when I was in Manchester town. I had my portfolio of pictures that I'd taken from India that I'd printed out, and I was trying to get like some kind of exhibit in a gallery or something. I'd been walking around the whole, and no kesher to Yiddishkeit Bichlal, yeah, and I'd been walking around the whole day, hadn't eaten anything, it was cold, it was wet, it was like 6 o'clock, it was dark, it was Manchester as well, which makes it even worse, and I went into a 7-Eleven, and I picked up a chicken sandwich, treif chicken sandwich, and as I'm walking to the checkout, it was the weirdest thing. I was like, Diamond, get a tuna sandwich. Like, what are you talking about? You don't even like tuna. Chicken is the same price. This is much more. And I remember there in 7-Eleven in Manchester, 6 p.m, whatever day it was, I was just like marvelling at myself at that fact that it had even popped into my mind to not get the chicken sandwich, get the tuna sandwich. And I put the chicken sandwich back and I took the tuna sandwich and walked to the checkout, like saying to myself, "What are you doing?" It was a kashrus decision. It was a decision from kashrus. I went back to my, to my treif lifestyle afterwards as well.
The reason was because this was more kosher.
There was no reason. As in, that was in my mind that it was kosher, but that had never been a chalik of my decision process until then in any way, shape, or form. Nothing. So it was bizarre. That was Bechira Chofshis. So Bechira Chofshis is what I tried to do with you when I show you the $200 bills, yeah? And usually what happens when I've done this in the past is the person's brain fries out and they're like looking at you like, no one's ever done this to me in my life. And as they're like fried out, you look at that one and you go, this one was yours. And they instinctively go and take the one that was theirs. That's an amazing explanation of what Bechira Chofshis is. Bechira Chofshis is that you see yourself in the other. It's not the other that's making you choose it. It's you. It's from you. It's not from the other. It's from you, not from the other. Meaning, I come to you with the 200 shekel bills. No, there's no pull to one.
Because that was mine.
That was yours. So it means it's nothing to do with the bill. It's to do with you. You with me? So Bechira Chofshis only exists in regards to mitzvahs. Only exists in regards to Torah mitzvahs. And it's the experience. It's not an experience. It's the, I don't know what you call it. It's the Maisa. It's not something you experience. It's something you don't experience. It's your neshama choosing itself. It's your neshama seeing itself in that chelik of the Torah. And therefore it chooses the mitzvah, it chooses not to do the Avera. Not because of some kind of cheshbon, not because of Gan Eden or Gehenna, not because of...
towards it.
No, then it's not Chofshis anymore.
That's the point. This is the whole point. Bechira Chofshis is completely not free. It means it's free. It doesn't mean that you're free to choose what you want. It means it's free of being being influenced by the thing itself,
or by your nature to choose one.
No, this is the point. It's your nature. Bechira Chofshis is your godly nature shining through. It's not your Nefesh Bahamis making a decision.
Shining through what?
Shining through the Nefesh Bahamis. It's the either way, or accustomed to, or habituated to, whatever it is. It's your Nefesh Bahamis being pushed to the side, and the neshama just doing its thing.
So let's say one chooses the Avera.
Just like Kriyas Yam Suf.
Let's say someone chooses the Avera over the mitzvah.
They didn't. Then Bechira Chofshis wasn't activated. Bechira Chofshis is only when you choose the mitzvah. That's Bechira Chofshis. Otherwise, it was a vital concealment of reality. There's no word for that. You're not exercising your Bechira Chofshis when they're doing. It's gone back to the Nefesh Bahamis. So the Nefesh Bahamis has a cheshbon. It's always a cheshbon by the Nefesh Bahamis. He makes a cheshbon. He's an intelligent. Sometimes he has access to intelligence. Put it that way. He has access to intelligence.
According to that logic, animals wouldn't have Bechira Chofshis.
Yeah.
Even the Umos Oilam don't have Bechira Chofshis. Even the Umos Oilam don't have Bechira Chofshis.
Is it all stemming from the fact that Hashem shows us that Matim Torah Bechira Chofshis? That's what gives us the ability.
It's that we are. So that's not that. His choosing us at Matan Torah was his Bechira Chofshis. Right. Why did he choose Am Yisrael? It wasn't because we're the greatest or the best. You know why he chose us? Because that was him. He chose himself. He chose his Shekhinah. That was the.
But didn't he choose the Gufa?
That was what got chosen. That's what got chosen. But because it's like the $100 bill, because it was himself in it that he chose, so the bill comes with it, so the goof comes with it. That gets sucked into the cheshbon, so to speak. So it's not that he made
because we were better.
No, of course not.
Sweeter,
it was because we are godly. It's because we have that chelik of him. He saw that in us. So just like when you see the chelik of you in the 100 shekel bill, the chomer of the 100 shekel bill comes with you. That's what got chosen. The goof got chosen. You understand? You're not choosing yourself. It's just because you see yourself in the 100 shekel bill, you take the bill. That was the same Indian, that he saw himself in Am Yisrael, so by choosing us, the goof got sucked in, and the goof became Yivcha. The goof became chosen. You with me? That's Bechira Chofshis. It's an amazing idea. So this is exactly what happened by Kriyas Yam Suf. Kriyas Yam Suf was the... Kriyas Yam Suf should we go there as well?
You have to ask.
Jump in.
So okay, let's go there because it's also very. I was talking about this last night. You missed this, so I'm going to say what I said last night because it's in my mind and it's Kriyas Yam Suf as well, and it's all very important. So everything has what's called chiyas and kiyum. Everything has a chiyas and it has a kiyum. Okay, the chiyas of water, its life, is described as what makes water different to fire, different to stones, different to air. What makes water different to fire is that it flows down, it's wet, it's cold, it levels out, it's malleable. Fire is hot, it goes up, it's whatever colour it is, v'chule, v'chule. The particulars of the thing, the particulars of whatever it is, that's its chiyas. So what makes you different from everybody else, you could call that your chiyas. What makes you different from animals is bichlal, it's our intellect, let's say. What makes animals different to trees and to vegetables is emotion or movement. What trees different to rocks is that they grow and they reproduce. Those are chalakim of their chiyas. But then you've got this tree that's different to that tree, and you've got within the realms. It's holographic. You with me? So you've got the actual kingdom itself that's different. That's the din on chiyas, and then within the kingdom itself, amongst the yidden, you've got very high yidden, you've got very low yidden. You've got that's also a din on chiyas. That's all chiyas. What's kiyam? Existence. Kiyam is. Well, let me ask you a question. Do you exist? Who exists more, you or the table?
They define exist. I mean, just being.
Existing. The fact that you are, not the fact that you are that, but the fact that you are. The table is, and you are.
Both the same, aren't they?
Exactly. Kiyam is shaveh. If it exists, it has kiyam.
Is domain considered kiyam or chiyas?
No, what do you mean?
An inanimate object, is that a chiyas?
Everything has chiyas and kiyam. Everything.
Chiyas means it has
If it exists,
Chiyas is the quality.
it has
Kiyum is just the
exactly.
the fact
If
that
it
it's
exists, it has chiyas. Doesn't mean that it's like walking around and dancing and stuff. But a rock has chiyas in that a rock is this. It's solid. It falls down. It's round. You can build with it, etc. That's its chiyas. But the fact that a rock exists is just like I exist. Nothing exists more than anything else. If it exists, it exists. It's just binary. You exist or you don't exist. So now, this is an amazing idea. Is what's the difference between a Ford Fiesta and a Bugatti Chiron?
Ego.
$5 million.
What?
Existence is the same.
$5 million.
The kid.
7.5.
Exists. Everything's the same on level of existence.
So the chiyas within the chiyas.
Do you think you could summarize all of the differences between those two cars in one
Speed, the
word?
quality, the look, the societal,
Art.
Why is it
influence.
just ego?
What?
A person's relationship to his ego.
That's your word. But the actual Matthias of the car.
Matthias,
You've
yeah.
got this $8 million car, whether it's $5 million car, and you've got a $10,000 car.
Money's the difference.
Quality.
Money's the only difference.
No.
Is there one word that we could use to describe all of those differences?
Quality.
Quality, what?
Quality.
Quality, luxury,
Better. Power.
better, power. So the word that you can really use to describe the difference that covers everything
Yes.
is material.
The material is the center.
What it's made
Point
from.
of separation.
Tell me, what's more of a car? A Ford Fiesta or a Bugatti Chiron?
Oh, what do you mean? They're both made of the
Both
same
car.
material.
No,
No,
no.
Marketing.
Metal.
You're gonna be a
What?
bad
But
chopper.
it's still metal.
No.
No,
Steel.
it's
Plastic.
steel.
A
It's
diamond
such a
and
different.
They're both as much a
Diamond.
car as each other.
The
A
metal.
diamond and a lab-grown diamond, they're the same material. They just came.
A
from
diamond and
different
a
places.
lab-grown diamond?
Aren't they the same material?
Well, just stay with this example. Stay with this example. yeah?
Material.
The materials,
So rubber's rubber.
used.
Rubber's rubber.
Let me ask you a question.
no.
No, it's not true.
Or
That's what
material.
makes the difference. That's exactly what makes
Exactly,
the
it's the
difference.
point of
The
separation.
nuances of the material is what makes it better.
Okay.
Say it like this, like we said before. What's more of a car, a Fiesta or a Bugatti?
Same.
They're a car.
The car.
A car's a car. It's got four wheels. It's got a steering wheel. It's got a seat you sit in. It's got a door you open. It's got a front windscreen. There's certain things that it needs to have to be a car. Once it's a car, it's a car. Now within the kingdom of car, you've got a huge spectrum of different kinds of cars. Yeah. But they could all be summarized, categorized as a car. Yeah. This is the inyan of the Olam HaAsiyah. The Olam HaAsiyah is the material. It's to do with the material. So everything appears to be different. So you've got a Ford Fiesta, you've got a Carnival, a Kia Carnival, and you've got a Ferrari, whatever. Yeah? They're all cars made of different things. Yeah, but they're all cars. Now, compare that to a boat. Now we've got a very different thing on our hands. We've got a boat and a car. They're two separate things. One's a boat, one's a car. Yeah? But they're both vehicles. They're both vehicles. Exactly. They're both transport. They're both vehicles. However, let's call them vehicles of transport, yeah? Oh, now all of a sudden we're throwing in an aeroplane, we're throwing in a helicopter, we're throwing in a hovercraft, we're throwing in v'chule, yeah? What's more of a transport vehicle? Airbus 385, is that what's called, the big one? Or 380. The Airbus 380 or my little tustus. What's more of a vehicle?
Depends. More up.
Depends how you say it. What's more of a vehicle?
Yeah. But you realise we've equated all of that kingdom. We've actually grouped everything conceptually. So once you strip away the materials from the Bugatti and from the Fiesta, that takes you now to the world of Yetzirah, the concept of the car. It's a concept. Yeah? You with me? And if you want to talk about transport, we can throw in horses as well if you want, yeah? What's the description that covers everything? If you realise that we took a car and then we went back from a car to a vehicle, then
Creation. Everything's a creation.
It just is. It is. That's Bria. That's Yesh Me'ayin. That's when it comes. So you have,
and that's the state of Kiyam or not Kiyam.
That's the Kiyam. The Kiyam comes from that level of Bria. Now the
Before
Surah.
Kiyam.
What?
Isn't Bria even before Kiyam? It's just the concept in existence.
It's Yesh Me'ayin. Bria is Yesh Me'ayin.
Is Yesh Me'ayin.
Yesh Me'ayin. This is Ayin. So Bria is Yesh Me'ayin. So, but there's infinite madregas of these worlds. Don't forget, there's infinite madregas. So we're just talking just very bechlal, yeah. So its initial isness comes when in Atzilus this car isn't, yeah. It's not the concept of the car that exists in Bria, but it's I don't know how to say. You can't say it. You with me? It's not yet a car, it just is. But at that level, it's the same as a horse, it's the same as my feet, it's the same as everything. It just, like, on that level, it just is. Everything just is. Conceptual. Well, the conceptual part comes now in Yetzirah, where it gets given a form from Loshen Yetzer. It gets given some kind of form. Now it's a car. But at that level, there's just the concept of a car. But again, there's madregas, because you've got cars with 3 wheels and cars with 4 wheels. Just we're keeping it simple, yeah? You with me? The final level is when it comes down into this world and it takes on mamashas, which is material. Now you have an endless plethora of cars, yeah? So this is a very helpful way of seeing reality, where things all boil down to that binary level of it just is, okay? So that was all just to understand it. So you've got the kiyam of the thing, and then you've got the chiyas of the thing. Yeah? And you understand they're completely different, they're just different things. It's chai v'kayam. Yeah? We say it all the time. Yeah? So everything exists, and everything exists in the same way, which is really from Loshen Makom. The inyan of existence is that it takes up space. Yeah? Even a thought takes up space in your mind, conceptual space, but that's kiyam is Loshen Makom. Yeah, so everything that's a different thing though. But that's really what Kiyam is. So everything exists in the same way, but then everything has an absolutely different life force, and it goes on and on and on. The life goes on and on and on. Yeah. So Bechira, what we saw, if you want to learn the analogy from Kriyas Yam Suf to Bechira, what we saw was that the life force of water, not the kiyam of water, but the life force of water, which you could also call the nature of water, was discontinued by what? Huh?
By splitting.
But what caused that splitting?
Ruach.
What really caused the ruach? Ratzon Hashem. When Ratzon Hashem, when there's a stira between the chiyus, the nature of X, and Ratzon Hashem, and Hashem is mevatel, the nature of X, that's what we call
Nes.
an ace. That's an ace. That's an ace. Ocean sneh, backwards, which is also Sinai.
Only in the realm of Asiyah, you're saying.
That's where we see the breaking. That's where we see the
In
breaking.
the world of Yitzhak and Bria, it's all the same.
Maybe in the world of Yitzhak there'd also be a break because water is. I don't know what the form of water would be like that. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. That's a good question. I don't know. So when there was a stira between the nature of water and the Ratzon Hashem, and Hashem allowed it that the Ratzon Hashem trumped the nature of water, that was Kriyas Yam Suf, that was a nace. Now this is the Alter Rebbe in Shayich V'Emunah uses this to give you an amazing insight into Achdus Hashem, and if you take this to heart, it will give you a completely new experience of this world. It really, really will. If you really take this to heart, it gives you a really new experience of this world. So he says like this. He makes a kal v'chomer, yeah? You've learned Shayich V'Emunah?
I read it.
You went okay, so you probably forgot this, but this is the big thing in Shayich V'Emunah. He makes a kal v'chomer, yeah? The method that Hashem used to cause Kriyas Yam Suf was he caused the wind to blow all night, yeah? Which means he exercised a constant energy to cause the nature of the water to nullify the nature of the water, to go along with his ratzon. So look, when he stopped the wind blowing, the Or Chaim actually says it came back like gradually, but just minastam, when he stopped the wind from blowing, the waters returned to how they were. So he makes a kal v'chomer, just like to be mevatel the nature of something, yeah, which is a much lower level than its actual existence. The chiddush of existence is infinite, from nothing to something. That's infinite, yeah. Once it is, now it's from 1 to a million, but that's nothing like from 0 to 1, yeah. So to be mevatel its nature, its chiyus, took a constant energy, a constant. So Hashem blew, yeah. That's what the pasuk says. There was an eastern wind that blew and blew and blew, and it caused the sea to split. So to cause the sea to split, which isn't making it vanish, it's not going against its kiyum, it's going against its chiyus. Its nature is to be like this, to be flat, yeah, to be even. So to break its nature, Hashem needed, so to speak, to exert a constant energy.
A constant ratzon.
Okay, let's call it a constant ratzon, yeah. In this case, it disguised as a wind, yeah. The minute he released the wind, the minute he stopped the wind, the waters returned. So he says,
He didn't send them back.
What?
He didn't send the waters back.
He didn't change the nature
Let's
of water.
go back to where
He
it
didn't change.
was.
Either way, they will, because all the waters in the world actually split at the same time as well. But there's lots of nuances, and just try and get the point. Don't let your mind wander, just because this is a very important idea to get. Yeah, you can have a million questions if you go like this. So the water is flat. Yeah, the water evens out. That's the nature of water. So Hashem had to exert some kind of energy, constant energy, to cause the nature of the water to be nullified. Yeah. When he released that energy, it came back to how it was. So he says, "Kol v'chomer." If Hashem needs to, or however you say that he needs, if Hashem needed to exert an energy to break the nature of the water, Kol v'chomer, he needs to be exerting an energy, kol rega v'rega, to cause the thing to exist. With me?
Repeat that.
If the existence is an infinite difference from nothing to something, yeah? And the nature is just an overlaid nature on its existence. And to break that nature, Hashem needed to exert a constant energy. To cause the thing to exist, He needs to be constantly causing it to exist. Constant. So this world is so. Look at this. If you pick up, I'm going to throw that. You see this, yeah? Let me ask you. What do you see here? What do you see?
Gravity. Up, going down.
What?
Up and down. Gravity.
So really, no, you don't. You can't. Yeah, you also see gravity, right?
You know gravity's there.
But you're seeing me. You're seeing my energy. See what? If you're not seeing a cup. You're not seeing a cup, Bechira. That's a cup. The nature of a cup is it sits on the table, yeah? This is the opposite of the nature of a cup. I'm throwing it up in the air, yeah? So really what you're seeing is my energy enclosed in the cup. The cup completely disappears if you think about it. All you'll see, because a cup, that's not what the cup does. That isn't a cup, that's a cup. Yeah, that is my energy enclosed within a cup, being revealed through the cup. Yeah?
Nice.
Plug that into reality.
Nice.
Plug that into reality.
It could be a ball, it could be anything, it could be what it is. It could be a ball, then you turned it into something else.
When it's going.
You change it from a cup into a throwing item. No longer doing what a cup is.
As long as I'm going against the nature of the cup, I'm using, but see, I can only go against the nature of the cup. The nature of the cup is to go there. I can't go against the kiyum of the cup. Is that against the kiyum of the cup? No.
You can. Why would you go all the way back to kiyum? What you're essentially saying is you're changing the chiyus of the cup.
I'm not. That's what I'm trying to say. I can't change the kiyum of the cup. I can't. Maybe that's what korbanos is. Burning something up. That would be the offering up of the kiyum. That's why the makom and migdash. That's why the makom is so choshev with noiser and with the not pigor, that's man, but with all the psulei korbanos. Pigor is man though. Pigor is not man.
Also, when you have thinking about doing it in the wrong place.
That's
the wrong place or the wrong time.
Yeah, but yeah, sure. I thought pigor was just man.
So is it you're mevatel the chiyus of it, or you change the chiyus of it?
So you're mevatel the chiyus, meaning its chiyus is to sit there like this. So for this moment,
and changing it into now a throwing item, and changing its chiyus, you take that and you cut it and make it into a funnel. You change its chiyus into something else.
Exactly.
You change its chiyus into a play item.
Well, all you're really saying is I'm not doing anything. Is that you can say that as well. If I turn it into a toy, I can be. That's the Inyan Muksa, isn't it?
Mevatel the original chiyus though. It's no longer a cup.
Right now, all you're seeing is me. You're not seeing a cup. You're seeing, because that's not what a cup does. So really, when you conceptualize it, you're seeing me. You're seeing my energy being expressed through the cup. If you're misboiling on this, yeah, it changes the whole world. It changes the reality of the world. You're not seeing a world. What's the nature of the world?
Hashem's energy.
No.
Status quo.
The nature of the world is to not be.
To not exist.
To not exist. It's like a chutzpah, in like the sense, in like a godly sense that this world is. Hashem's caught. A chutzpah is like, with all respect to the Rebbeinu Shalom, I'm saying it just to get the point across, yeah? But a chutzpah is when you do something against someone's ratzon. That's what a chutzpah is. What a chutzpah, I can't believe you said that to me. I can't do that. Or, I can't believe you did that to me. That's a chutzpah, yeah? Chutzpah is when you go against the ratzon of the other. So this whole world is a tremendous chutzpah, because the ratzon of this world is to just not be. And Hashem is forcing it to be kol rega v'rega. So when you look at this world, so here you see the cup. So it's just a moshel, because this is just the chiyus being broken, but not the kiyum. Whereas in the world, the kiyum of everything is the ratzon Hashem being shofei into it, kol rega v'rega.
It's something used for its intended purpose. You're not breaking its chiyus. You're throwing a ball up and down. It's doing its chiyus. You haven't changed anything.
No, you're breaking its nature. The nature of a ball is like a cup to sit there. When I kick the ball up in the air,
when you drink from a cup, you're still changing its chiyus. because it's not intended to be moved.
Yeah. The thing, we could go on forever with like talking about how it works in which context, or whatever. The point is
the difference is kiyum shouldn't. The things that are have kiyum right now shouldn't exist. That's the natural state of things. It shouldn't exist.
Everything should not exist. The reason why everything exists is because Hashem is causing it to exist mamash, and we see that it's a kal v'chomer from
an ace.
From Kriyas Yam Suf. From an ace. From Kriyas Yam Suf.
And ace seems like wow, but really that's just yesh miyesh.
Exactly. That's the point. It's you get where you get. It's very keeping this in mind very deeply. This union of kiyum and chiyas is the same thing as etzem and shame. The essence of something and its name, its expression. Yeah, and one of the things I think that you get from davening nates, yeah, which I feel that this is one of the bonuses of nates, is that what's more real? Yeah, again, it's all moshel. What's more real, the light and dark, or the numbers on your watch?
Numbers are more
real.
What's more real?
They're the same.
What?
Numbers are
I found that the light and dark is you change them. You go to summertime and wintertime. The clocks change. Yeah.
Right.
So all it is if you think about it again, because this is how we need to think about everything. Really, is you've got the essence. Yeah. Now you put your shtick on it. That's Nate's gets you connected to the essence, which is light and dark.
When it is.
So it's like so. No one comes this. Yeah. When the clocks change, if you're a Nate stuff in here, yeah. When the clocks change, the night the clocks change, it makes no difference to you. No one, everyone's like, what? Think about it. It makes no difference to you because it's just when you It's just like you went to bed at. So you're thinking you went to bed at 9 o'clock. Nate's was 4 o'clock. Now it's 3 o'clock, or now it's 5 o'clock. Whatever it is, yeah. But because all what happened is all the numbers changed. You still went to bed when you went to bed, and you woke up after that. It was just to do with the light and the dark, yeah. So it's funny. So, but if you're a Nate stuff now, the night the clocks change makes zero difference to you whatsoever. The rest of the world are like either crying or laughing or jumping around. The next day, however, it makes a big difference to you. Because now you got sucked back into the numbers, whereas everybody else. Well, so now you have to change. You have to change you have to change everything. It mamash really changes you. Yeah. Whereas the other person who doesn't dominate, the next day it's back to normal. Yeah. You just absorb the hour. You know what I'm saying? So it's again seeing that it's all about the shtick that we're putting on everything. It's all about the shtick that we're putting on everything. Like we spoke about the eye. You've got the iris and you've got the pupil. Yeah. You've got the person. And then you've got the name. That's like the kiyum and the chiyas. When you've got a kid who's not behaving, yeah, you have to mamash deeply root yourself in their kiyum. That's the key. When you've got a difficult marriage, yeah, you have to deeply root yourself in the binary nature of the marriage. Marriage is you're either married or you're not married. We've said this before. There's no madregas in marriage. You're not more married after 60 years than you were after you said Hayat Mekudeshesli or the morning after, whatever it is, yeah? There's no madregas in the metzias of marriage, in the kiyum of marriage, in the chiyus of marriage. There's no comparison between a healthy marriage of 60 years and a healthy marriage of 6 months. Incomparable. But when a marriage is difficult, yeah, now the only way to deal with it is to root yourself back in the kiyum, and also in yourself as well. When you're not behaving yourself, if you're doing things that the chiyus is off, take yourself back to that part of you that is pristine. It's just binary. It just is, and now we can start to rebuild ourselves from that place. But this is like a klal gadol in just being able to navigate your way through olam hazeh. Just to always remember that there's this. Everything has this binary. If you boil things down deep enough, you'll get back to its binary nature, and the experience again is in the chiyus, is in the shame. But a lot of the time, the chiyus and the shame is going to be difficult and not aligned with what you want. And in those cases, you can take yourself back to the kiyum, and that will give you. I mean, usually, it fixes the chiyus as well, but that will at least give you the power to stand strong. B'ezrat Hashem. So, to go back, That was the inyan of the sea being given Bechira. That's why Rashi was Madamit to the listing. The sea became a Baal Bechira, meaning that the nature of the sea got put to the side because of Ratzon Hashem. Ratzon Hashem flowed through. Ratzon Hashem trumped the nature of the sea. That's called Bechira Chofshis. Not when you chose to do the mitzvah because of whatever cheshbon you had, yeah. But the neshama chose to do the mitzvah because the neshama saw itself in the mitzvah, and that's the exact same thing as the exact same phenomena as Mesiras Nefesh, and also tshuva. Tshuva, Bechira Chofshis, and Mesiras Nefesh are all the exact same thing, just in different circumstances. The exact same phenomena. What's the phenomena of Mesiras Nefesh?
Doing something that doesn't make any sense.
Aligning yourself with Ratzon Hashem.
I would say going against Ratzon Hashem for a purpose. Like I'd say not doing a mitzvah to give someone else, to do something else for somebody else, where you're putting your own personal mitzvah or chiyuv.
That wouldn't be Mesiras Nefesh.
Because you're going by your...
Well, let's just...
Our nature is to do the mitzvah.
Our nature is to stay alive. Our nature is to stay alive.
This
It's
is
just to die
To
is
go
not
against
our
the
nature.
mitzvah, having a calculation of bringing up another yid or going down to bring someone up, or that would be...
Okay, so...
Which
Okay,
is
give me...
Going back to Kiyah.
Is what?
Going back to
Nature is to stay
Kiyah
alive.
versus your...
We want to stay alive.
Yes, that's a really amazing way of saying it.
Right.
I never heard it said like that. That's exactly it. The Inyan Mesiras, I'll give you a good example of what isn't called Mesiras Nefesh. Yeah, is what the Meshiganas did, the Meshoyim did on October 7th. There was not one man who was Moisa Nefesh that day. Yeah, from their side, because Mesiras Nefesh, the Mesiras Nefesh that the Tanya talks about, is not shaykh to the Ummah Sorina. Not shaykh to them.
And b'chal they're a cheshbon.
That's exactly when a person decides to give up their life because it makes sense to give up their life. Like there's the guy who's put his everything into the whales, and now that you've got the little Japanese guy with the harpoon, and he throws himself in front of Minky the whale. He gives up his life. Why? Because he had identified with his cause, and it made sense now that you could further your cause, which is your life, if you want to say that, by giving up your life. That's not Mesiras Nefesh, and that's why the Tanya gives the example of a kal shebakal, of a secular Jew giving up his life when a Russia comes up to him and says, "You're God or your life." Not your religion or your life. Because if the Tanya had given you, like, say, for example, Rebbe Akiva, yeah? Now you could think, not that Rebbe Akiva didn't give his life up, well, it wasn't Moshe Nefesh, but you could have thought that Rebbe Akiva said in his mind when the Romans were like, you're gonna keep teaching, you're gonna die. He would be like, you could think in your mind where he was like, well, look, all I do is learn Torah all day long. Like, what would my life be without learning Torah? I suppose you might as well just take my life. What would my life be without Torah? Yeah, that isn't Mesiras Nefesh.
That makes sense.
It makes sense. That's an intelligent decision. That's a high level for a human being. If the cause is a good cause, that's a very high level for a human being. That's the highest level a human being can get to. If the cause is a good cause, yeah. But that's not Jewish Mesiras Nefesh. Jewish Mesiras Nefesh is the exact same inyan, where you could have a cheshbon, you could come up with yes or no to give up your life, and probably if you're a good yid and you're doing the right thing, you would make an intelligent decision also to give up your life. The guy puts a gun to your head and says either you bow to the idol or you could be thinking a lot of things there, yeah? But the Mesiras Nefesh, the actual Mesiras Nefesh, is when the Nefesh of Bahamas, the nature, gets shoved to the side, and the Nefesh of the Kis, the Ratzon Hashem, shines through. So it could be, and it should be, if you're doing the right work, that your human side is making a good cheshbon, but that's still not Mesiras Nefesh. That's exactly the same as Bechira. You see, it's the exact same thing. You with me? And that's the same as tshuva. Tshuva is again the exact same thing. See, tshuva is not, a guy says something very nasty to his wife. She runs off crying and slams the door, and he's sitting in the kitchen, he's like this. Oh, mate, I can't believe I did that again. I can't believe what I've become. He's thinking back and he's like, I was such a Bal Midas when I was I was such a Bal Midas when I was younger, and I can't believe the level that I've fallen to, and I could be so much greater than this. I should be so much more. I can't believe that. That is again, it's a madrega. It's definitely better than what most of us would do, but that is the same inyan as the mind. The real tshuva is when your wife's reality all of a sudden presents itself to you, and you're broken. That out of nowhere your wife became real. I mean, she wasn't real to you when you said that horrible thing to her, for sure, If she was real to you, you wouldn't have said that. She runs out, she slams the door, and you're sitting there, and all of a sudden, your wife, her reality presents itself to you, and you have harata for what she's having to experience. That's tshuva. Mitzad your wife. Mitzad Hashem, it's the inyan of, so to speak, again, Hashem presenting himself to you in a way that's real, where you don't go, oi, I can't believe what a bad Jew I am. You're just all your mind is overwhelmed by the Rabbanu Shalom. And that's real tshuva.
Maybe not on the topic, but what if you don't feel like that? What do you do now?
Wait, one second. Okay, that's an important question. But I just finish off the thought. Now you see how Mesiras Nefesh, Bechira Chofshis, and tshuva are the same inyan. It's the same inyan mamash. You see that? Everyone sees that? Same inyan mamash. Just when you're in the 7-Eleven in Manchester and you pick up the chicken sandwich, that same phenomena manifests as Bechira Chofshis. When the Russia has a gun to your head and says,
even though you're married to a shiksa,
even
though you're married to a shiksa, and he said die or
it's the same
killed,
thing.
Says,
it's
okay,
in that case the same phenomenon is called Mesiras Nefesh. And on Yom Kippur, when you're standing there, and all of a sudden you're just like, this has got to change. Not because I'm a Russia, but just I don't even know, this isn't right. This isn't right. I'm not behaving correctly. I owe you, it just isn't right. That's called tshuva. It's the same phenomenon, just presenting itself to you in different circumstances. And it's the same tools. Connecting yourself back to this inyan is the same. It's the same, so to speak, tool. It's a perspective. It's a paradigm. It's a way of seeing reality. It helps you deal with everything, literally with everything. When you boil everything down to when you realise that everything has its mitzias, its kiyum, its netzer, and then it has its expression, which is its chiyus. And you can make sure that in as much as possible you're connected to the essence. You can weather all of the fluctuations in the world of Asiya and Mitzira. You know? So just to ask your question, if you don't feel anything,
if you don't feel that, I mean, you don't have the Kriyas choose correctly. I mean, what is that?
So the answer is if a person was nasty to his wife and he doesn't feel that he's like so bad, like if he doesn't think about his wife, if he doesn't feel that he's so bad, the H of the Tanya is to think that, to realise where you've fallen to, because you can't generate so much, and if you can generate at all, the mitzias of the other. That just kind of shines through when you shut up. That's the whole thing, is when you can shut up. When you can still the noise inside you, then that's when the reality kind of shines through, and then it kind of takes place for itself. So that's when your wife's reality will shine through, when there can be some kind of quiet. But when the whole thing's a cheshbon, and I think this is my thoughts, is that, see, the Rebbe says, in regards to the phenomenon of Mesiras Nefesh, he says, Ala Roiv. The majority of Yidden will give up their life when put in this situation. Why would it be Ala Roiv? Why not every Jew? And he's put in this what's it called? Do or die, not dichotomy, ultimatum. And he's given the ultimatum: either give up your life or die. Either give up your life or bow to the idol. Yeah. Why doesn't every Jew? Why does he say Ala Roiv? He definitely says Ala Roiv. The majority, in the majority of cases. What could prevent that from taking place? And it's amazing because Ala Roiv, people want to live. But there's a miyah of people who want to commit suicide. The exact same Inyan Mamash. Just the moshel. This is the moshel. Ala Roiv, everybody wants to live. Whenever I say everyone wants to live, yeah, always someone says, yeah, what about suicide? Obviously, yeah, but there's a miyah of people who want to kill themselves. But Ala Roiv, everyone wants to live. So what accounts for wanting to die? What accounts? Let's not say suicide. What accounts for not wanting to live? So the way I understand it is there's two things. One is real and one is common. If somebody's in actual pain, like chronic pain, yeah, I've had days or weeks where I've had chronic pain, but some people have chronic pain, like crazy chronic pain for years. That can take away your will to live. If the pain is so intense over a consistent amount of time, that can actually kind of, so to speak, the pain can trump the pleasure of living. Because really your will to live is your pleasure. Living is a pleasure. That's a whole schmooze in itself. But that's really your will to live is actually not a will to live. It's your desire for pleasure. It's your nefesh habamah's desire for pleasure that expresses itself as a will to live. So if the pain is so intense and so consistent for a long enough amount of time, then that's quite rare. That's very rare. Yeah. What's much more common is the koyach machshava clouds the sky. So the person's ratzon to live is the sun, and because their machshavas have become so intense and so negative, it's like Manchester for 360 days of the year, where you don't even know there's a sun. Yeah, thick cloud cover. You don't see the sun at all. That is a very common cause for not wanting to live any longer. Not that the sun went anywhere, not that your desire to live has gone. It's just been completely clouded over by very, very thick machshavas. And that's why in our generation, there's so much more suicide than there ever was, because the machshava, the levush of machshava, especially in the developed countries, like the rate of suicide in America and the developed countries compared to the third world countries and stuff is completely incomparable.
Right? Share you gave 2 weeks ago about trauma, and then
the what?
2 weeks ago you spoke about trauma, and then
what you do with
it, in which
what you do with it afterwards. So everyone lives in this world of very few people have worked out what their koach machshava is. Your ability to think. Very few people realise that they think as opposed to that they are thinking. Most people think they are thinking. So when a person has a suicidal thought, all of a sudden they're like, I'm suicidal. Whereas if you understand how it works, you're standing on the edge of a cliff, yeah? And your mind is one of these minds that just puts stuff together. Yeah, you might just think about, well, what would it look like if I jumped off? Or your mind just might go there. It's not suicidal thoughts. That's just having a thought. If you want to call it a suicidal thought, okay, you can, but it's not. That's not you. That's just how your mind works. When you see a cliff, you think about jumping off. Just like when you see a ladder, you think about climbing it. When you see a button, like I do, you think about pressing it. Yeah, that's.
You see what
they'll lose their jobs. That's the Indian. I have my kids as well. I have a tither that when I see the fingerprint thing, I always do. It's just That's what I
I think
do.
there's a mikvah on the other side.
It's just that, again, it's like this is when you realise that thinking is as well. It's a lavouche. It's a lavouche. It's not you. Once you get that really clear in your mind, then you become so powerful. You become so. That's already enlightened. That's a level of enlightenment. So most people are so overwhelmed and identified with their thinking that there's no sun anymore. You don't see a sun because it's just full of the clouds of the thinking. It's just full of clouds. So now I told you the story about the Golden Gate Bridge? No? I told you, I said it?
The guy who built it?
No, about the guy jumping off it.
Oh.
Wait, it's that story I tell many times. It proves the point beautifully. Apparently the Golden Gate Bridge is apparently 30 stories high, yeah? And the chances of living, if a person jumps off it, are 1%. Yeah? But there's like 2,000 people who've thrown themselves off of it, and 1%. So there's 20 people, and there's a few of them in the world right now who've lived, yeah? And apparently they've got like a WhatsApp group. And I'm not joking, they've got a group with each other, yeah? And you can go online and check out living off jump off the Golden Gate Bridge. It proves the point. It beautifully proves the point, yeah? It's so powerful, this story. So this guy is giving an interview. He's saying everyone felt like this as well. The guy's talking about what he did. He was talking about he was on the bus. It was all crazy. He hated his life. He's thinking this, thinking that, yeah? He gets off the bus and he goes for it. He starts running, yeah? He runs and all he wants to do is end it, yeah? He leapfrogs over the barrier, over the gedder, yeah? And he said as his hands left the barrier, he was like, oh man. He said he was hit with ultimate charata. And he just did deep tshuva for like 3 seconds. And bang! He really hurt himself as well. But he just did deep tshuva for like 3 seconds because as his hands left the railing, what happened? Because of the sheer terror, for the first time in years, his koach hamachshava, his ability to think, got discontinued. And it was like a sky full of clouds and just like no clouds. And all there was is his will to live. He was like, oh, bang. That's the alaroiv. That's why it's only alaroiv. The majority of Yidden. And that's why I think in this generation that it might not be like that anymore. It might be more than alaroiv. Why? Sorry, it might be less than alaroiv. Because I was just thinking like this. It wouldn't surprise me. Yeah? I mean, you wouldn't find this out. It wouldn't surprise me if that guy now jumping off the Golden Gate Bridge is thinking as he's flying down, I hope someone's got this on camera. This will go viral. You can imagine such a thing. I saw a film.
This is white Shuba. This is white Shuba.
You imagine he would think
that wouldn't surprise you if somebody.
Sure, would surprise you.
It would surprise you.
People who thought like that would never jump.
No, as he's jumping, he wants to kill himself. But as he's jumping, I would still think most people, most people. I'm saying in our generation, because we've become so machshavadik, so caught up in our machshavas, you wouldn't be surprised if you heard such a story.
This is why tshuva, there's no mitzvah to do tshuva. According to the Rambam, there's no mitzvah, there's no chiyuv to do tshuva. If you want to do tshuva, there's a mitzvah how to do it. You do v'yah, etc. The Rebbe learns there's no mitzvah to do tshuva, because if there were a mitzvah to do tshuva, then you'd have the cheshbon. Why to do tshuva? Because you want to do a mitzvah.
I never heard that. I hear that.
And so if there were a mitzvah to do tshuva, it would preclude the ability to do tshuva properly.
Meaning it would be your cheshbon, you would have chosen to do tshuva.
And then you would be doing tshuva.
But there is the mitzvahs of vidui. I mean, he counts tshuva as well as 6:13.
But there's no mitzvah to do
tshuva. To actually do tshuva. But so this is the inyan of Mesiras Nefesh, meaning that it's when the thinking, which is the cheshbon, which is bina, when that gets discontinued, and the nefesh of the kis itself shines, because it feels threatened in whatever way it feels threatened, and that is called Mesiras Nefesh, and that can't exist by the Umos HaOlam because they don't have. They can have the thinking process discontinued, but they don't have the neshama that then shines through with the Ratzon Hashem. That's an amazing. That is the big difference between Umas Ha'olam and Am Yisrael. Not the big difference. That is the difference. That the avoider of the Umas Ha'olam, we said this again, but we'll finish on this because it's just a very important thing to Chazar, to Chazar, is the avoider of the Umas Ha'olam is to use their intellect to extrapolate from their own Metzias to the Metzias of other human beings. And that will give Kiyum to the Olam. That's why they call the Umos Ha'olam, because they are the ones that create the world. They're the ones that give us the world. So the world can only exist with the golden rule, which is what is hateful to yourself, don't do to the other, which is what Hillel said. The first words of that statement is the alayich, you. So use your mind, use your intellect to appreciate the fact that you're a Manda Amma, that you're a Metzias, that you're a person. Now extrapolate from that and appreciate that everybody else is also a person. So don't do to that person what you don't like done to yourself. And if you're really clever, if you've got a really good head, you'll be able to get to levels of like Gandhi and Stephen Covey, and you'll be a really good guy. And you'll look at people and you'll think, how can I help you? What can I do? You're more real than me. You'll give up your chair. All mitzad cheshbon. All mitzad intellect. So you see that the great people of the Umas Ha'olam, nearly without exception, are extremely intelligent because they're using these people like Gandhi and Covey and these very great what's his name, Tony Robbins. He's also a great guy. They've got very, very powerful intellects, and they have extrapolated so deeply that they've gotten to the point where it's now just, I'll give up my seat for you because you're more real to me than I am to myself. That is the avoider of the human being in this world. And think about it, if all the humans in this world were living according to that
Nice place.
it'd be paradise. Would be in Gan Eden Mamash. All everyone's thinking is what's hateful to me, I'm not going to do to you. That's called Kiyum Ha'olam. But that's got nothing to do with us. We've got a human element, but the thing is, this is the difference, is the human element of the Umas Ha'olam and the human element of Am Yisrael is the difference between a kosher piece of meat and a treif piece of meat. Which sounds like, well, that's a big difference, but it isn't, because if you hold up two pieces of meat, one that is kosher, one that's treif, you don't know which one's kosher, which one's treif. They taste the same, they look the same, etc. They feel the same, etc., etc. So that's the exact same thing. What's the difference? Is the difference between Klipas Noga and Klipas Tameus. The lower Klipa, the darker Klipa, and Klipas Noga, the shining Klipa, which means that the treif steak, which is the nefesh of the Umas Ha'olam, that doesn't have the ability naturally to appreciate the metzias of another person. Naturally, that being, a human being, naturally, and all the psychologists will give you proof after proof for this, but naturally, a human being doesn't appreciate the reality of another. It's only with intellect. Only with intellect, or with upbringing, which would be your father's intellect. Something could be also like that. The Jew, his natural state, his natural humanity, is predicated on Klipas Noga, which is the ability, which has good in it, which means the ability to appreciate the metzias of another. So the natural state of Yisrael, is to appreciate the metzias of another. That's why if you look at the amount of tzedakah that Yidden give, secular Yidden, all Yidden give, compared to the Umas Ha'olam, it's completely out of proportion, completely not kashur. Completely, why? And what are the three qualities that we describe a Yid as being? Baishanim, Gomer Chasadim, Rahmanim. All of those three inyanim are the inyan of appreciating another person. You're embarrassed, why? Because you're real. Only a mechutzu who doesn't think you're real can do whatever he wants in front of you. Gemilas Chasadim, and Rahmanis, same thing. So what's the avoid of a Yid? It's the thing what we've just been saying. The avoid of the Yid is to use your neshama to come to appreciate the Metzias of the Rebbeinu Shalom more than your own Metzias. That's our avodah. To use your neshama, the avodah of a human being is to use his intellect to appreciate the reality of another human being over his own reality. The avodah of the Jew is to use his neshama to appreciate the reality of the Rebbeinu Shalom over his own reality. That's the two roles of human beings in this world. You have Yisrael and you have the Umas Ha'olam. And that's the difference between us. The Umas Ha'olam are here to create a world, to give kiyum to a world, and Yisrael are there to stick that world to God, or to bring God into this world. They create the world, and we misdabate the world to its boire. They because of them there's a bria, and because of us, the bria and the boire can be merged to each other. But without them, there would be no bria to merge with the boire. Okay.